What's up, friends? So, I was actually going to talk about something completely different today, but I got so much awesome feedback about the lead generation bootcamp that I hosted yesterday, where I walk you through the 3 pillars that you need to generate leads with your website sustainably, zero booty shaking and pointing in the air required. And I had so much good feedback from it. I was like, you know what? Let's just share this with my podcast pals. So y'all can listen in and learn. People were taking notes the whole time, actually learning. This was not just an hour-long sales pitch, pinky promise, because I wanted to bring true value to the table so that if y'all never buy a thing from me, you can still take this and use this to make your website better. So I'm just going to jump right into it, let y'all listen in. But if you're somebody that's like, Faith, I need to see the thing. I didn't sign up for the bootcamp. I've actually created a workflow just to send you the replay link. So if you just need to see this and actually see the slideshow and see the things, then just grab that in the show notes. It's just titled Replay, Bootcamp Replay. And it'll come right to your email inbox. You can watch it immediately. But without further ado, we're going to just jump on in. And I hope and pray that y'all learn something and pick up on the really fun bomb I just dropped in here. Hey there, fellow entrepreneur. Welcome to Simple SEO and Marketing with me, Faith Hannon. Do you want to grow your business with organic marketing and finally feel like you can understand SEO? Are you scouring the internet for how to get more website traffic, SEO for dummies, and how to market on Pinterest? Have you tried to grow your business with SEO and blogging only to get frustrated and quit because it's overwhelming and too time consuming? Been there. Hey, I'm Faith Hannon, Jesus lover, copywriter, blogger, wife, wrangler of tiny humans, and barrel racer. And let me tell you, I didn't have time to waste sorting through SEO and keyword strategies that either didn't work or were so over my head I couldn't understand them. I honestly thought that SEO and blogging only worked for people with a PhD in tech jargon and a whole team of employees, until I learned these secrets. Good SEO strategies don't have to be complicated, and creating and marketing great content doesn't have to take more than a couple hours a week total. So pop in those earbuds, slam some coffee, and let's grow your business with simple organic marketing and a healthy dose of biblical encouragement along the way. So I want to start off today first with prayer, because you know what? The Lord is the one that we want to honor in our businesses, and He knows the next best step for all of us, and He knows what we need and the connections that we make and that we need to make and the people that we need to be working with. So Lord, we just come to you right now, and we want to lift up this time to you. Father, I thank you for giving us your spirit of wisdom and revelation and the knowledge of you. God, that the eyes of our understanding would just be flooded with light, that we would know the hope of our calling and the richness of your glorious inheritance in the saints. Father, I thank you for giving us your vision for our businesses and for the next step. Lord, that you would help us to ask the right questions and that you would just continue to give us wisdom and divinely inspired ideas. In Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Amen. So I want to just give you guys some super tangible tips on how to get leads using your website, so that if you literally never, ever, ever buy a thing from me, that you'll still have some things that you can go take and move forward. And I didn't want today to just be an hour-long sales pitch, because I have sat in on those and they make me mangry. And then I never want to do anything with those people again, and I unfollow them, and I'm just a little bit crabby about it because I don't want to waste an hour of my life. But please know that I'm launching a course, so obviously I'm going to be talking about it, but I'm not just going to talk about that. I'm going to give you guys some tangible tips. And we're pulling some people, at least one person from the live, to do keyword research with. So we're going to choose that. My assistant, Brittany, is going to choose that person, and she has no bias. She knows nobody. So y'all be participating in the chat. Be nice. You can be salty, but just be nice. But just jump in, ask questions in the chat, be participatory, and we are excited to just hopefully bless y'all in this way and with this information. I'm going to close the chat though, so I don't get distracted. And Brittany's just going to have to figure out how to communicate with me. Wave at me, give me give me signal flares. So this is a lead generation bootcamp because I want you all to get leads using your website. It shouldn't take an act of Congress and booty shaking and pointing at the air to generate leads for your business. I truly believe that your website should do its dang job and get you leads. That's what you're paying that $30 a month or whatever for. So that your website can actually work for your business. So I want to flash back to, I'll tell you what I'm going to tell you first so you're not lost. We're going to flash back to how this all happened, how this all evolved, this whole method and SEO and all of this knowledge. And then I'm going to walk you through the pillars of how to generate leads using your website, and then give you some really actionable tips, and we'll do keyword research. So flashback to little baby blogger Faith. I had just had my daughter, Aaliyah. She was like 3 or 4 months old, and the Holy Spirit said, start a blog. And I'm like, but why? So I kind of put it off for a while and put it off. So finally, like August, she was born in May. Finally, like August, I was like, okay, Lord, I'll do it. So I started a website and a blog with literally a baby nursing. And, just like working my little tush, Googling all the things, figuring out all of the things. And I'm like, I'm going to write about all the things I'm passionate about. I'm going to write about hunting and hiking and natural health and business and Jesus and friendships. And like, I don't know, somehow I magically thought I was going to make money doing it. And one of my friends, she was like, oh, I heard bloggers can make really good money. And I was like, yeah, I heard that too, but I don't know how. But I'm writing and I'm a good writer, so it's going to be fine. I just kept learning and kept learning. And then finally I was like, oh, the only way to make money blogging is to either affiliate market and have to build a giant audience and sell other people's crap, or have my own product to sell. And so I was like, so I tried affiliate marketing for like 35 seconds. And then I was like, I don't like living on social media. I don't want to spend my life building an audience on social media. And I have some friends that are very successful at that. One of my good friends has 80,000 followers on social media, and the other one has like 40,000. And I'm like, it's possible, I know it is, but I just really didn't want to live my life like that. So I started a copywriting and content writing business, and have had some really good success with that, like made good money per hour doing that. But then one day I realized that like my stuff wasn't getting found, and my client stuff wasn't getting found. And I was like, well, crap. So I started like Googling the things, like the topics that I had written about and I knew I had written about. And like, I was pages and pages and pages and pages down. And I was like, what in the heck? So I started looking at like the people who were, top 5, top 10. And some of them were just literally poop. Like they were just crap content, not like dirty, just like crap content. Like I'm like, that's not helpful. It's ugly. It's not helpful. Like it's not doing anything for anybody. And so then I got to digging and I realized, the reason that they are showing up is because they have good SEO. First I had to Google what SEO was. And I was like, and I just started figuring out like, okay, these people are popping to the top because they have good SEO. And then I was like, but wait, I don't want to write like that. Like, I don't want to have to produce content like that and look like that and feel like that to actually rank. Like, what's the point of that? So I figured out you can have both. You really can have both good SEO that helps you get found and great content that doesn't sound like it's written for a robot. And I've just figured this out through a process of trial and error with myself and with clients' work. And what I'm going to walk you through today is the 3 pillars of sustainable lead generation, because lead generation shouldn't be exhausting and it shouldn't be overwhelming. And you don't have to do everything absolutely perfect to do it. There's a ton of strategy behind it, but I'll be honest, y'all, I haven't published a blog in 2.5 months. But my stuff that I had published was working and my views are increasing because that evergreen content still works. Now, should I start publishing blogs every week? Yes. Will I, now that this course is launched and I can like breathe again? Also, yes. But Just know that if you're like, oh snap, I can't do this every single week of my life, it's okay. The stuff that you have done will still keep working for you. So the 3 pillars of lead generation, you're going to be so shocked to find out what they are. Not. Are SEO, keywords, and blogging the right way. Okay, these are the 3 pillars that you have to get leads from your website. Now, SEO doesn't have to be crazy complicated. It really doesn't. Whoops. And keywords are very strategic, but I will teach you that. And then blogging does not have to take a ton of time or a ton of money. I can create a blog for myself, create all of the graphics, and optimize it and publish it in an hour and a half, period. Done. Throw my hands in the air, walk away. I've got it streamlined, and I'm going to teach you guys how to do that too. Now, this is what most people do. I feel like it's like the Titanic, where they're like sailing up and they see this little they see this like little thing poking above the water and there's like giant thing below the water that they run into. Only this is good stuff. So I didn't want to actually make it an iceberg in a Titanic graphic. But what most people do when you're learning about how to grow a business online is they just talk about the marketing, and they're like, you got to market. You got to be on Instagram. You got to do this. You got to create a freebie for everything you post. You got to create, this and churn out more and more content and do ads and do this thing and this thing and this thing. And we're constantly bombarded with so many different methodologies that all equal hustling all the cotton picking time. And I'm not against hard work. I'm not. Like, I have animals that eat money and poop work. Like, I'm not against hard work, but I want to do the work up front and build a foundation, and then, be able to rest later and build something that's sustainable. So this is what the world says we have to do, is market, and then hustle. And, it's kind of the whole girl boss culture, which I don't love, but this is what, where's my mouse going away? There we go. This is what I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you how to build a foundation of SEO and keywords, and then optimizing your website and messaging, because it doesn't matter how great your website is. If your messaging is crap and everybody hates it when they get there, like those websites I found, then you're not going to make any sales, right? We have to optimize our messaging and our website. And then I'm going to teach you blogging the right way for lead generation, not just for spinning your wheels. And then we'll go into marketing smarter, not harder, and sustainable growth. And if you're like, Faith, I have like me, myself, and I in 2 hours a week, I have different growth tiers for you in this program, because I realize that not everybody can, work 80 hours a week. Okay. I work most of the time 15 to 20. Okay. And I have a very small team. I pay Brittany for a few hours a week, and she edits my client work for me because I have fat fingers and I can't spell. So I'm going to walk you through some SEO must-haves, some keyword must-haves, and then some blogging must-haves, and then like 3 really actionable tips for each of those things that you can take and apply today. Okay. So SEO must-haves to gain any traction. You have to have an SSL secure site. What does that mean? It means that you have the HTTPS // or what colon //. It just means that your site is secure. And depending on who your website is through, some of them make you pay extra dollars for that, which is dumb. But you have to have that, because if you don't have that, somebody clicks over to your site and they get a little alert that says this site is not secure, and nobody's going to spend money with that, right? Nobody wants to spend money with somebody whose site isn't secure, or even like take your advice. So your website then also has to have a fast load time. If your website is overloaded with a ton of graphics, with a ton of videos, and it takes 45 years to load, nobody is going to stay on there and do anything. You also have to have a well-organized site. And I don't just mean that your pictures are all in a row. I mean that your behind the scenes stuff has to be organized, so that when Google reads your site behind the scenes, they see that you have your poop in a group and you're not just throwing stuff up willy-nilly. And you also, little hack, need to name your photos appropriately and not abuse alt text, because more and more searches are happening on the image section of Google, which is kind of cool, right? So Keywords. What do we need for keywords? We need the right size keywords. Okay. Because if you're like little baby blogger Faith, when you first find out about keywords, you're like, oh my gosh, somebody's searching this 1,000,000 times a month. I must go for this keyword. And then I put this keyword in all of the things and just dump it in all of the places that I can think to dump it, when really I never had a chance for ranking for that. So we need the right size keywords. And then we need keywords in the right places, because keyword placement is huge to getting found on Google. And we need the right frequency of keywords, AKA don't do what Faith did and put keywords, the same wrong size keywords in all of the things, like your text descriptions and all of those things, because it's just not going to work. It's going to hurt you. And then blogging. What do you need to have a successful blog? So I have a ton of content on why blogging is necessary for lead generation, but I'll run you through a few things. Blogging is a huge part of getting found on Google, because literally each blog that you produce is a chance to get found for that thing. So if you just have your website with, like, let's say 5 pages, like home, about, services, and, contact, and, maybe your coaching page, like 5 pages. That's only like 5 pages to get found on Google, versus if you have a blog and you're producing quality content every week, then you have a chance to get found for, how to style your hair with a red bow, how to decorate your house so that you don't hate your life, how to wear glasses and not make your eyes look small, like whatever those things are that you're producing content about, that's a chance to get found for that thing, if you have a keyword-rich, strategically written blog on that. Blogging also establishes expertise, because how many people have you gone to their website and you're like, okay, that's cool, I might buy that thing, but you can't teach me anything about it. We as consumers we're becoming more and more educated. We're expecting more and more of the people that we buy things from. 50 years ago, people went to the car lot and just bought a car. They didn't care about reviews. They didn't care about tips and tricks. They didn't care about how to keep it clean. They didn't care about, who else drove that car. We want to be more and more educated as consumers. And so we as service providers or product providers need to be helping our consumers learn. We need to be a place of information for them to build that know, like, trust factor, but also to establish expertise. And blogging gives you valuable content to repurpose. If social media is part of your strategy, which I'm not anti-social media, I just don't want to live my life on there. If social media is part of your strategy, you need to be writing a blog and repurposing it, because if not, you're working way too hard, way, way, way too hard. And it doesn't cost a ton of time or money. Like I said, I can blog in an hour and a half, and that's a good blog that gets found. Okay. And if I'm ready to pass that off to somebody else, I can probably pay somebody VA rates to do it. Not what Faith charges people to blog rates, because I have a great system in place. Okay. Now, 3 tips for each of these, so that if you never buy a thing, you still get some value and you don't hate my guts and livers. So 3 DIY SEO tips. Make sure your pages load quickly. And you can do this by making sure that your file sizes are appropriate. Now, your individual website platforms should help you with this. But if they don't, then you can use a tool like Tiny JPEG or JPEG Shrinker to make sure that your file sizes are not too big, but it still gives you quality photos. You also have to, and this is a huge hack that most people don't know. Like, honestly, there's some huge businesses that don't know this tip, and that's to use keywords in your page titles. And I walk you through exactly how to write your own keyword-rich page titles in this course. And then you need to use some keywords in naming your photos. Don't keyword dump like little baby blogger Faith did, and you need to make sure that you name your photos in a way that Google can read them with dashes in between the words. But you do need to use keywords in your photos. And then for your keywords, don't try to go for too many. I know it's really easy to think that, oh, I'm an expert in 57 things surrounding my thing, but Google's not going to see you as an expert in 57 things. As the online world increases more and more, Google is getting smarter and smarter. Whereas like 10 years ago, yeah, maybe you could have been an expert in 57 things in the eyes of Google. Now, not so much. Really niching down is also beneficial in your keywords. So I recommend clients go for 3 to 8. I call them big goal keywords. That's plenty. Niching is important in SEO and keywords as well. And also, this is a fun thing that I've learned. You have to know your keywords for your platform. So when I first really started to dig into Pinterest, I just did keyword research on Google, and I'm like, oh, sweet. Like I can do I figured out this keyword works here and this keyword will work on Pinterest too. Not so much. Like work at home mom is poop on Pinterest. Absolute crap. Last time I looked it up. Work at home mom on Google is a great keyword for some of my clients, but on Pinterest, like it's not searched. So don't use that as a keyword on Pinterest. Okay. BT dubs. I'm teaching you Pinterest in this course as well, and how to do in-depth keyword research for that. And then your keywords, you need to check and adjust them every 3 to 6 months. Now, it's important that you give your keywords and you give your SEO time to work, but you do need to check and recheck it and make sure that it's working. Okay. Now, blogging. If you want to start making traction quickly in your blogging, you need to start writing blogs around smaller searches. You can go as low as 50 searches per month, depending on where you're at in your business. But really 200 to 300 searches per month is a sweet spot for a lot of people, especially if you're writing it in a really keyword rich way and you're marketing it smarter, not harder. Then you can really stay in that 200 to 300 searches per month range and create some really good traction with blogs. And obviously, if you can create, more than one blog a week, that's great. But honestly, one blog per week is plenty for most businesses. And you have to include keywords in your H2 text. You cannot just use your H2 text to break things up and make it pretty. I used to do that. So ask me how I know, because I made no traction doing that. Okay. Now I want to show you, I'm going to take a second and show you the course because I'm excited about it. Let's just be honest. So first off, I'm going to just take you over here to the sales page in case you guys have not seen it, because I just finished it yesterday, y'all. Brittany and I just finished this bad boy yesterday. We are on top of it. But here's the organic marketing framework, blogging, SEO, and website strategy to really get you more leads in just 4 weeks. Now, the 4 weeks, we can get through this in 4 weeks. Is it going to take some hustling of our bustling? Yes, but we can do it. And I have a plan for you to do that. Now, if you're like, Faith, ain't nobody doing nothing in 4 weeks in my life, you can go through it at your own pace as well. Okay. But I want you to know that if you don't optimize your website, you really are going to leave money on the table. And I don't want that for you, because I want you to do good with your business. I want you to be successful with the thing that God has called you to do. All right. And I really want you to learn how to understand this, because I truly believe in the philosophy of, not just giving a man a fish and feeding him for a day, but teaching a man to fish and feeding him for a lifetime. Because yes, I could come in and I could do this for you and I could just give you a formula. But 1, ain't nobody got time for that. 2, that would be expensive. And 3, then what? If you pivot in 6 months or your keywords change, then you don't know how to fix anything. Okay. So I wanted to also show you a couple of people that I've gotten a chance to work with. Chelsea Joe, I just did her keywords and then put them in a couple places. She barely changed her blogging strategy and her organic traffic doubled. Now, she has a thriving business. She's got a great podcast. It's not like she went from, 0 to 1 million, right? Like that didn't happen. But the keywords doubled her traffic, her organic traffic to her website. She sent me a screenshot one day and I was like, what in the heck? That's amazing. I got the chance to help Brooke, Jefferson, and Candace. And so just if you have a chance and you have a second, go over and check this out. If you have any additional questions after this call is over, I really want you to see success in your business long-term. And SEO is a big part of that. Okay. So now let's look at what's in the actual course, because we want to see that, right? So when you get your course, you're going to be able to log on and access all of the things. If you want to go through it in a day, God bless you, because that's a lot. You have more brain power than I do to do that. But I guess if you wanted to, you could. Or if you want to go through it in 4 weeks with us, then you can do that. This is the one and only time that I'm going to offer group coaching and accountability for this course at this price. Like maybe I'll do it later, but it ain't going to be at this price. What we're going to do is we're going to do one group power coaching Q&A session, 1 hour session a week for the 4 weeks that it should take you to get through this course. Now, obviously, if you're behind or ahead, that's fine. We're just going to be focusing on that 1 week's stuff for that call. Because I truly want you to be successful in this, and I want to make sure that you understand all of the things. So just a little overview. I give you a prep week to move your website over to Show It. If you're not on Show It, I highly recommend it. My pal Erica moved over to Show It a week ago, not even, and she already had somebody reach out because they found her on the internet. They found her on the interwebs, y'all, after 1 week on Show It. Now, is that a testimony to faith? I don't know. She listens to my podcast and she does what I say, so I don't know. But I haven't actually done her keyword research. So she's also pretty savvy. So then module 1, we're going to walk through setting yourself up for success and what to expect. And then in module 2, we're going to jump into Google Analytics and keywords. I want you to actually understand Google Analytics, not just like start sweating every month when you check it. And I'm going to explain SEO and really in depth why you have to optimize your website. And then we're going to do keyword research on Ubersuggest. I give you an Ubersuggest tutorial. Do you need to purchase Ubersuggest for this course? Yes. You need to buy at least a month just because you need to dig in and do your keyword research. Do I love the full lifetime version of Ubersuggest? Absolutely. But not everybody has $250 to throw at that. But I do believe that at least the month version of $30 is worth it, especially because you really do need to dig in and do in-depth keyword research to see SEO success. And then I give you my template on how to write page names and page titles and meta descriptions. Then we go through and we actually optimize the back end of your website. I give you screen share tutorials like click here, do this thing exactly, don't do this thing, ignore all of this tutorials for how to update your Show It website. Now, if you have something other than Show It, will this still work? Yes, but you're going to have to look up Squarespace tutorials for updating your page titles or whatever your platform is, because I don't have time to learn all of the platforms. And quite frankly, I don't want to because I'm just not that Urkel. I'm just not. I'm going to give you some alt text formulas and how to name your images for better SEO. I've come up with formulas for that you can just plug and play. And then we're going to go through optimizing your website copy and creating customer-centric messaging, because if everybody hates your website when they get to it, then it's not going to do you any good, okay? I mean, you might rank, but nobody wants to buy anything from somebody like that. And then I've created this homepage layout that I want to actually show you guys. So as a professional copywriter, I've had to figure out what do we do? What do we do for people's websites? Like I need something repeatable. And I've created this really cool template that I'm going to show you guys because it just makes me happy. And you're going to get this as a bonus in the course. But this is essentially how I lay out clients' content. Yes, Canva. I know I can save money. And where to put all of your text, where to put your H1 text, where to put your H2 text, like how to structure things. Okay. Because that is confusing, y'all. It's just confusing, especially when you're trying to grow a business and figure out the things and know what to put where. Like it just shouldn't be that hard, right? Oh, wait, should I save? Yes, exit without saving. It makes me nervous to not save, but I think I can do it. Then we're going to walk through creating content, how to create content, and then I have a whole fatty module on blogging. I have I think the tutorial ended up being like an hour long, where I show you exactly how to optimize a blog, exactly how. Now, obviously, it doesn't even take that long to do, but with me talking and being chatty Cathy and explaining it, the tutorial takes that long. And then we're going to go into Pinterest and optimizing your Pinterest account, doing Pinterest keyword research, my stress-free social media method, and email marketing. Why email marketing? How to use Flowdesk, because that's what I prefer. And then workflows. And I'm going to take you through the actual workflows that I use and how I'm able to do things so quickly and so efficiently, and give you those growth strategy tiers that I was talking to you about as well. I will show you briefly how to get set up on analytics, but honestly, that is such a platform by platform thing that I can't do it for everything. So thanks for that question, Brooke. We do need you do need your website set up to do this. But if you're like halfway migrated to show it, you can still do a lot of this. So keyword research time. Brittany, who are my winners? Who's my winner? I'll answer a couple questions while Brittany gets me a winner. So I answered the question about Google Analytics. Website does need to be set up ish or close. Okay. I mean, you can do the work at the same time, but like you should know how to change your colors and fonts by the time we start together. The group power coaching is not going to start next week, but the week after, because if you're not already on Show It, I want to give you time to like at least get it somewhat set up. And we're just going to do it once a week for an hour, probably around this time-ish on a Tuesday or a Thursday. All right. Well, guess who? Lindsay, unmute. Lindsay, you're the winner. Chicken dinner.
Yay!
So Lindsay is also a rodeo kid, so that she gets all of my dorky horse references. And just so y'all know, if you just are like, Faith, I'm just going to buy it now, there's a $50 off discount code, and that is launch. It's really creative, I know. Really creative code. That'll save you $50, and everybody who buys the course before January 10th gets in on the group coaching. So Lindsay, let's chat keywords. All right, so Uber Suggest, you will get this tutorial in the course, but here's where I live in Uber Suggest. I live in the keyword ideas section because it's really easy to get just completely lost in the black hole of Uber Suggest. So when you actually get a Uber Suggest, you can like have it linked to your Google Analytics and have it linked to all the things so that it'll tell you like, I'll show you. Faith has 73 broken links because I changed a page name, not a page title. Like I'm going to show you. I learned a lot of these things by doing them the wrong way. And then I tell you what not to do. So Lindsay, are you still in? I know a little bit about Lindsay's business, so we're going to jump in. Lindsay's a life coach.
Yes.
Okay. Specifically Christian life coach.
I don't actually like have that on my website or anything.
Okay. All right. So talk to me a little bit about your content buckets.
So I'm all about like discovering value and worth, and building positive community and healthy relationships.
Okay. And how big, so just so y'all know, on keyword research, you put 3 things in there and then you hit search and it compares those 3 ideas. And it's beautiful. Wow. Because unlike the free version, then it gives you like 800,000 other ideas. Whereas the free version, the free plugin, it doesn't give you that many ideas. Okay, so Lindsay, I'm gonna ask you some questions, and they're not like that personal, but they're a little bit personal because you know how like when you ask somebody who ranches how much land they have, it's basically like asking them how much money they have. Right. I'm gonna ask you about your email list, which I know is like a little bit about asking about money, but you know, it is what it is. It's important to know. So how big is your email list?
It is not very big right now. It's mainly like family and friends.
Okay.
So I definitely want to focus on that more.
Okay. And how big is your social media following?
It is, I'm getting closer to, it's like 250, 300. So okay. Yeah.
That's fine. No, that's all fine. I have a formula that I've created. It's kind of like like guidelines in Pirates of the Caribbean, not rules, and more like guidelines, but they'll help you get started knowing where you need to bounce around with your keywords. Okay. So we need to keep you in what I call the infant or baby category. Perfect. Which means that all of these are too big. And I want you to have, I call them like an umbrella or overarching goal keyword for each page. each of your main pages. And then we're going to come up with supporting smaller keywords. And then you're going to create blogs around the smaller, teeny tiny keywords. Okay. So
Okay.
these are all mucho grande too bigo, like
Ah,
my Spanish Erica. Healthy relationships, self-worth, and life coaching are all too big. So we
okay.
need to go smaller than that. I would really like to keep you, to get you traction, I'd like to keep you at the no bigger than 2 to 3,000 range.
Okay.
So, um, healthy relationship signs. So when you do your keyword research, you're going to go and you're going to select some that work. And then Uber suggests, well, you can add them to a list.
Okay.
Amazing. So healthy relationship signs, healthy relationship characteristics,
Okay.
life coach versus therapy.
Hmm.
Do you, do you want to do self-worth Bible verses? That's a good keyword.
I could. Yeah.
Okay. What do healthy relationships look like? This would actually be a really good one, I think, for you to use in like a page title, even.
Oh, yeah.
hmm Um, what's your demographic mostly?
15 to 25-year-olds.
Okay.
So I work with high school clients as well as, yeah, college and just out of
Okay.
college.
Okay. Self-worth. Do you have any self-worth affirmations? A thing for
Yes.
you? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So that's a decent keyword. Okay. Now this
Okay.
would have to be like a big, um, like a bigger keyword for you right now. As you grow, this could be like a smaller, like blog keyword for you, but this would need to be a bigger keyword that you support with smaller keywords.
Gotcha. Okay.
Um, you don't want to do any like the life coach training because that's not authentic to what you're doing. So that's why it's important to sift through keywords. Okay. Now you guys are getting a peek into this, but just know that there's a ton of strategy behind this, obviously. Um, It's not just like clickety click, and I teach you the strategy in the course. Self worth books. Do
Mm,
some reviews on self worth books.
yeah.
Um, Books for healthy relationships.
Yeah.
Life coach for men. Do men not get life coaches? That's funny
Oh, huh.
because nobody is Googling that.
No.
Or maybe they just assume, maybe it's just life coaches and not like specific for men. Um,
Mm,
Life coach for young adults. Okay. It'd be kind of, so then what you want to do is you want to dig into this and you want to say search results. And you want to see like, is life coach for young adults? When people Google that, what are they clicking on? Are they clicking on life coach for 12-year-olds or life coach for 24-year-olds?
oh,
Because
okay.
the results for that keyword matter because people are clicking on that thing because they, meets their needs. It fulfills the intention of their search. So
Mhm.
if you click on here and you look at the search results and it's completely not what you do, then you don't want to use that as a keyword
Gotcha. That makes sense.
because people are looking for something else. So you would go through and you would look, okay, like what is this actual page? What is the content?
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of my favorite examples of this is I was doing research for a client and she does a lot of stuff on like being a Christian entrepreneur. And we're like, what about kingdom business? And so we looked up kingdom business and it's huge. Like it's a perfect size for her. Well, there's a British show called Kingdom Business. And
Um,
she's like, can we use it? I was like, no, because when people look for that keyword, they're looking for that show. They're not looking for you.
hmm.
So it won't do, I mean, it might do good for one click, but they're not going to stay on your page. So it's not going
Okay.
to do any actual good. Okay. So healthy relationship traits and everything below this, like, is going to be like more your mid-level keywords. Okay. And then on down to like your blog size keywords. So what you would then do is you would add this to a list, create a keyword list. And I coach you through like how to create keyword lists to make Uber Suggest do work for you. So you don't have to like be the spreadsheet queen of the world. Um, so I'm breaking my rule here just because I want to have something to send Lindsay after this is over. Um, so let's throw some ideas out for more specific life coach terms that would be smaller for you.
Um, yeah, college students or life coach for young women. What else? Life coach or certified life coach.
I think that's probably going to be too big, but let's look.
Yeah.
Life coach for college women, Erica said. But see, that's why like keywords are so fun because, like Erica's a life coach and Lindsay's a life coach, your demographics are completely different. Completely
Mm,
different. Life coach for college students. Ain't nobody searching that. Aren't you glad we looked? Okay.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. And yeah. So what you would do is you would go through and you would come up with more ideas and more
Okay.
ideas and more ideas and just dig and dig and dig. Get a thesaurus, get a pal. Like honestly, I ask my husband things a lot because he's not in this world.
Mm,
So he asks questions in a simpler way than maybe I would answer them.
okay.
And so maybe ask somebody that like is completely unfamiliar with your world. How would
Mm,
you ask this? Because sometimes we just get too advanced in our thinking and in our keywords.
okay.
So,
Yeah, that makes sense.
all right. All right. Now, who was the second one? We'll do a tiny, tiny, tiny bit more. Michelle, you were winner number dos. All right, I'm going to do a tiny bit. All right, Michelle, talk to me about your business a little bit.
Okay. Let's see. So I do time management for working moms, ones who are particularly working from home with elementary kids or working on a side business or volunteering. So time management and organization for moms who are working.
And how big is how many super fans do you have?
Not very many, maybe I think 10 or 100. I can't remember my spreadsheet, but around then
100
there,
super fans?
100. We'll
Okay.
say 100.
And how big is your email list?
I think it's 70 people,
Okay.
70 to 100.
Okay. So here's where I want you to stay. I want you to stay in the 3 to 5,000 range, no bigger than that. But sometimes
Okay.
it's hard to find a keyword that actually fits in your range so you can like wiggle a little either way. So time management, way too mucho grande bigo, 40,000.
Right.
Working moms, way too big. Okay. Is there a show called Working Moms? There we go.
There
Probably
might
is.
be.
Okay. Is time management a skill? Time management skills is too big, but it fits. Okay. Time management tips. Boom. That's your baby. That's your baby, Michelle. Own it. Time management strategies. Time management apps. Time management. See, and then this one, like time management importance. How in the heck are you going to work that into anything? Like that's poop. You can't talk like that. Nobody listens to you. Is time management important? Time management tools, working mom quotes. You could maybe do that, except that's probably whatever that show is. Time management techniques, time management books. You could do reviews on that. Time management worksheet. There we go. That's a good supportive keyword for you, Michelle. And time management software, time management plan. You could own this time management plan. Okay. Own it.
Okay.
Knock it out. Time management course, 720 searches a month. Time management course. Have you finished your course?
I'm working on it.
Own that
It
sucker.
will be called the simple time management method.
Perfect. Put this in your page title. Okay. And then as
Okay.
you grow, your keyword can grow, but own that for now because people are searching that. Okay. All right. Now, Liz asked, how much do we pay attention to the SEO difficulty? I pay attention to it some. I try to stay 70-ish or below, but I'd rather have authentic than perfect, if that makes sense, um, according to my guidelines. Okay, so I will send you those keywords, Michelle. I'll send those over to you, but I wanted to show you guys some receipts because I know everybody and their mom wants to be like, well, I did this and it worked and I did this and it worked and I did this and it worked. I'm like, yeah, show me the receipts. That's precious, but did it work? Actually work. So this is one client's growth. So we started working together in May. And so, but we didn't like actually implement anything until June. So May is in orange and November is in blue. So this is her traffic in May and this is her traffic in November. And it is obviously higher. Her direct traffic went up by 73% and her organic traffic went up by 100.6%. And she went full bore blogging strategy, and she had already had some SEO friendly titles, but she has a large team and a thriving business. And so it really worked for her. Now, if you only have you, yourself, and you doing things, is it going to be this fast? Maybe. Depends on your keywords, right? Depends on the competitiveness, depends on, how many other people are going for those things, and how much quality content you're putting out and how many people you have to send your stuff to already. So this is the same client. In July, she had way less clicks and way less impressions than she did end of the year. Look at that growth. Look at that growth, y'all. Now, is there still room to grow? Yes, obviously. Her average position is 40 and her average click-through rate is 2, which isn't atrocious, but it could be better. Still room to grow, okay? Now, another client. This client updated their on-page SEO, but they didn't change their blogging strategy a whole heap of a lot. In August, a couple months before I did keyword research for her, this was her, the orange was that. And in November, this is what it looked like. She had 71% change in her direct traffic, which is basically Google's way of saying we're not real sure where it came from. That's what that means. It could come from anywhere. And her organic traffic increased by 22%, which is not double, but it's an improvement, right? If 22% more people see your stuff, guys, that's awesome, especially if you are killing it with your titles and people start clicking through, okay? Now, questions. Will it work for me if? Start dumping your questions in here and Brittany will make sure that I see them and answer them. Will this work for me if I am not tech savvy? Yes, because I'm giving you tons of screen share tutorials. I don't want this to be as hard for you as it was for me to figure out. Oh, if you've never done keyword research before, is it going to work? Yes. It might even be easier for you if you haven't done keyword research before because you're not going to have all of these like bad habits to break. You're just going to go in and you're going to do it how I tell you to do it. And Ubersuggest really is the easiest to use. It really is. I've used a lot of different things and Ubersuggest is by far the best. Now, what if you don't have much time or a big team? Okay, well, that's why I've got the growth tiers and different options for completion. Like I said, you can go through this as quickly as you want to. You could go through it in the 4 weeks with us, or, you can take your time. Obviously, I'd rather you did it quickly so you have the accountability and you just hit a trot and get it done. But if you just cannot handle that, that's okay. And like I said, really, when you do the work up front and you do the keyword research up front and you have that foundation built, I can teach you how to write a high quality blog in an hour and a half. And even if you're like, Faith, I cannot do that, you can pay somebody VA rates using the system that I have to do it, and it'll take them 2 hours. Like, it's not a huge investment of your time and money if you do it the right way. Now, if you have tons of questions, then please, please, please jump in now so that I can help you in the group coaching, because it's not going to be like, I'm not just saying this is never going to happen again just to like get you to buy. Like, really, I'll probably do group coaching again, but it'll probably be 5, 10, it'll be a lot more times the money. It'll be like at least 4 or 5 times more money than it is right now. So Jennifer wants to know if we can optimize any website, or will this work only for Show It? Yes, you can optimize any website. The tricky things, not tricky, the couple tips that will work on Show It and WordPress, like you can put your H1 text anywhere on the page with Show It and WordPress, and I think Wix, that you cannot do on Squarespace. Now, that just means that you're going to have to be a little bit more strategic with your above the fold text on Squarespace. It can be done, but it's just going to take a little bit more work. Like, because I'm on Show It, I can write my above the fold copy and then just like make it whatever in the heck I want. And then I can put my H1 text halfway down the page if I want to. And I can make it look however I want. So if you're not on Show It, it will absolutely still work, but there's just going to there'll be a couple of tutorials that you have to look up elsewhere. Okay. Monica says, does the course get updates as you make them? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because technology is changing, right? Like I literally learned something new last week and I went in and I changed a video that I had already recorded because I don't want to give you, outdated information. Now, am I going to update things every 3 days? No, because I have a life and small children. Keitha says, I have GoDaddy. Would I have to start over completely on Show It? Yes, but I hate GoDaddy with a burning, fiery passion, I built a course on there, or I tried to build a website for a client on there, which I don't actually do that anymore. She was like a rodeo mom friend and she's like, please help me. And I was like, okay, you hauled me all over the country. I'll help you. And I hated it. I hated it with every fiber of my being. And I convinced her to switch to Squarespace because I hated GoDaddy. So, Keitha, you wouldn't, if you switch to Show It, you would have to start over building it. But the templates on Show It are so much easier and so much prettier that I think you're going to find it's less work than GoDaddy, because GoDaddy is like, makes you want to stab yourself in the leg. Not to be dramatic or anything. Okay. Jennifer thinks she needs to move her website off of Kajabi. Yes, Kajabi is expensive. Yes, you get lifetime access. So you get any updates. I use Flowdesk for email marketing. But it's just my preference. Like I've used MailChimp, and MailChimp is ish until you get to a big list, but it's for free, So I started off on MailChimp, and honestly, I probably switched to Flowdesk too easy or too soon in hindsight. Like I was paying the dollars before I should have probably. Leslie's building her course right now. Leslie, I will offer the recordings. What do you mean offer the recordings? You guys can go ahead and unmute and ask questions. Like if you have questions, just jump in and ask them. I don't quite know what you mean, Leslie, by the recording.
I was just that's it's actually kind of a separate question. So you're doing during this time, you're doing the team coaching and you're going to record them. Are those going to be offered so that we can go back and listen to those again in case you can't be on the group coaching call of the week? Are you doing a replay basically?
So I haven't really thought about whether I will give those in future courses or not. Is that what you're asking?
No, but that's a good question though.
I haven't thought about that. I don't have an answer to whether I'll give them in future courses or not. That's a good question to think about. But absolutely, if you're in this round and you can't make the group call, I'll absolutely send you the recording if you can't make it live. Absolutely. And you can submit a question ahead of time for me to answer. I won't have this level of availability to be in it with you after this launch for this price. Because right now, you're getting, if you jump in right now, what you're going to essentially get is 4 group coaching calls, which right now my coaching prices are $250 an hour. And I booked out in December and the first half of January. So I don't know when it's going to go up, but it'll go up soon. My coaching prices will probably go up soon. So right now with, to have that time, kind of question and answer time with me right now, if you were to buy 4 hours of that, that'd be $1,000. Now, obviously in a group session, you're not getting that one-on-one time. I'm not trying to say that that's the same, because it's not, but you'll have access to those questions, quickly and quick answers. If you use Get Response instead of Flowdesk, will it work? Absolutely. Absolutely. The only Flowdesk specific thing is I show you how I update this thing in Flowdesk, how I take my Flowdesk, freebie or my Flowdesk, links, and I put it on Show It. That's the only specific Flowdesk thing. I just want people to know this is for Flowdesk. It's not for all of the emails in the whole world so that you're not like, what? Why doesn't mine look like that? So, all right. Am I missing any questions?
Just thinking, do you cover social media marketing even though you're not a big social media person?
I cover content, how to create social media content. Because really, I think when you have good content, how you package it doesn't matter. You know, you can package it with the latest booty shaking trend or the latest carousel or the latest whatever. But when you have good, helpful content, that's what matters. And I walk you through my repurposing strategy for that.
Yeah.
But as far as like, this is what makes Instagram happy, this is what makes them mad, like, no, I'm not going to cover that.
Okay. 2 more questions if it's okay.
Yes, please ask.
If I don't get it, like coaching doesn't help me in that moment, how, like, will you be available for questions in the future?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, I'm not going to like sit and spend an hour of my life with you in the future without purchasing a coaching call. But if something doesn't make sense, like my main goal is to help somebody with this. So if it doesn't make sense, like please ask, because sometimes Faith Elaine explains things in a way that maybe Erica Castro does not understand them. Mm-hmm. And I want you to understand them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My course is on Learn, which is part of Thrivecart. And I love it very much. Very much love. All right.
I have one more question.
Please ask.
I am thoroughly confused by Google Analytics and what that means. Like, I know there's a section, but is it like in depth, or is it just like kind of just, this is it, this is what you need to do kind of thing?
I show you where to click and where to ignore, because Google Analytics is a black hole, and there's actually 2 forms of Google Analytics right now. There's Universal, which I much prefer, but they're sunsetting that in July. And then there's Google Analytics 4, which I don't love, but it's what we're going to have to use. And they're making it better, right? Like they want somebody to use it, right? So I walk you through like, this is the data you need. Click here, put this in your spreadsheet. Click here, put this in your spreadsheet. Click here, put this in your spreadsheet. So refunds. If it doesn't work or you don't like it, do you offer refunds? No, because it's a digital program. And I have done this with people enough to know that when you do the work, it works. It's proven. And especially with the group aspect, the first round through, you can ask questions and I will get you answers. And so nope, no refunds, no refund policy. Liz says she has an unusual niche that's a blend of several topics, which has made keyword research difficult. Thinking maybe one-on-one coaching may be more effective than this course. Maybe. One-on-one coaching maybe with the lifetime Uber suggest maybe would be better, but then you don't know how to use it and where to put it, right? As I walk you through on like how to do the updates and where to put it and how to use the keywords in your blogs and future content. So that's why the combination might be really good. Shoot me an email, Liz, when we're done, and we'll chat about that, because I want to do what's going to be the best fit for you and your business. And then also I am giving a discount on coaching calls to people who purchase the course. So, all right, y'all, I am going to pray for you guys, and then we are going to, do I have an affiliate program? Yes, I do. Any more questions?
Really quick, what are the dates for the group coaching calls? Or what month are you doing that in? Or when does it start?
We'll start those not next week, but the week after. And I don't have the date set because I was going to wait and see like who joined in, and then just like pick a time, let you guys, vote on a time that worked for you guys the best. It'll either be a Tuesday or a Thursday every week, because those are the days that my mama watches my chitlins, and they're really loud. So you don't want them here when we're doing group coaching. I love them, but so, all right, y'all. we are going to pray and I'm going to bless y'all. And if you guys want to stay on for more questions that you're just like, I didn't want to ask this in the group, I'll hang out here for a tiny bit. But other than that, email me with any questions, okay? Lord, we thank you for blessing us with this time together today. And Lord, we thank you that you have called us to be a blessing with our gift and our calling, and to bless the people around us with the gifts that you have put in us since before we were born. Lord, we thank you that you have good plans for us. Lord, the steps of the righteous man are ordered of the Lord, and that you help us to succeed in that which you've called us to do. And Lord, we ask you for wisdom. I ask that you would help us to know whether this is the right decision for us, and that you would help us to move forward boldly. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. And I want to leave you with Ephesians chapter 4. So Christ himself gave the prophets, the evangelists, the pastors, and teachers to equip his people for the works of service, so that the body of Christ may be built up until we all reach unity in the faith and in the knowledge of the Son of God, and become mature, attaining to the whole measure of the fullness of Christ. And I just want to remind you that no matter your calling, when you do it as unto the Lord, it is ministry, because you have been given people to serve. You have been given people to serve, and the Lord wants to equip you and work with you to do that and serve your people. So thank you all so much, and be blessed. All right, y'all, in case you didn't catch it, the discount code for $50 off an already amazing price. The discount code is LAUNCH, LAUNCH. It's only good through January 10th, and then it's gone. And don't miss out on this bonus of accountability for group coaching sessions for the 4 weeks that it'll take you to get through this course to really shore up the back end of your business, nail down your SEO and keywords and blogging strategy. Because y'all, I want you to see success in this, but I'm legit not doing this whole group coaching bonus again. This is a one-time thing, especially for this price. I might do it again, but it'll be like a lot more dollars. So get that launch code plugged in, get the $50 off, and get the organic marketing framework to help you learn how to generate leads using website strategy, SEO, and blogging in 4 weeks or less. And y'all be blessed. I love you. Mwah. Bye. Thank you so much for listening in today. Hopefully this episode gave you some really tangible tips for better SEO and marketing to get more leads and more sales from your website. If it did, can I ask you a quick favor? Would you please share this episode with a friend, and then just take 10 seconds and go leave a written review on Apple Podcasts. That is the very best way to help more Jesus-loving entrepreneurs scale their businesses so that they can help more people with their gifts and make an even bigger impact for the kingdom of God. And guess what? We now have a Facebook community where we can learn, hang out, and laugh. Go join the Facebook group now. It's linked in the show notes. And all the other things, courses, coaching, and copywriting, can be found at my website, faithhannon.com. Until next time, God bless, and I'll talk to you soon.